David Slack last updated 5 o'clock, January 21, 2018. David Slack is not watching a great many All Black matches on Sky TV, even though his monthly Sky subscription made him feel as though he was subsidizing them. Opinion: I spent a day staring at a Sky dish this week as I painted the roof and counted all the other Sky dishes on all the other roofs and wondered how many would be there in another 20 years. All our TV comes up our drive in a cable and none of it from Sky. We signed up in 1991 to watch the Gulf War and Peter on it and sirens wailing and the eerie green light of Scud missiles. I stayed around to watch Larry King and the slow-motion O.J. chase and a million interviews with Kat O'Callaghan. But by the time 9/11 happened I was getting most of my information from the internet. David Slack: there is nothing new about the idea of circle of life, but it does feel as though permanence has become a more fluid sort of thing in our life. In another few years, we had no need for Sky at all because we are not a sports madhouse and the movies were stale and there was no way we were going to rot our daughter's brain with the Disney Channel. Read more, cavemen with keyboards, imagine a NZ where everyone rides public transport and e-bikes. On top of all that, the monthly subscription felt like a tax to fund the professional All Blacks era. Maybe they'll hang on to the All Blacks. Maybe they'll be a big, bold entertainment business player for years to come. But it feels more to me as though Sky is in the advancing years of the product life cycle you see in neighborhood shops. 30 years ago it was High Street Waterbed World. Then videos and DVDs on High Street, then paninis on High, and next High Street Bitcoin, probably. I was also thinking as I counted all those dishes about the feeder businesses, all those guys in vans who put up all those dishes, all the businesses that supplied cabling and antennas and didn't make them quite good enough to hold the signal in the rain. How long will those dishes stay there after people stop using them? Will there be a business opportunity to be the van person who climbs up on the roof and carts them all away? Will there be a business opportunity to fill the holes in the roof the van person left? There is nothing new about the idea of circle of life, but it does feel as though permanence has become a more fluid sort of thing in our life. Although perversely that phenomenon of our time, the pop-up store, seems to be something that can last quite a while. The Ponsonby pop-up bar Golden Dawn has been there for years now, and everyone is bereft that it's finally closing. One of the DJs suggested I should spin a set there myself before they close, and I think that's exciting, and my daughter is appalled. It's got to be something 21-year-olds can dance to, she said, somewhat desperately. You get old, you fade, things don't last. Will there be Sky dishes in 10 years? Will there be banks? Watch them shed hours and people as they turn all digital. There is some black comfort in the notion of redundant bank managers looking for money to fund a new business and discovering how frustrating it is to be told that they only lend on houses. And then there are the things we want to last forever. Truth, for example, democracy. Both seem beset. Washington's Freedom House describes countries such as Turkey and Hungary sliding into authoritarian rule, while the leader of the free world does little or nothing to defend democratic ideals. They call it a challenge to free people everywhere, and they are right. Everything beneath our feet is sand. We have to work to keep what we have. All of which makes the notion of a PM being pregnant all the more joyful because we are forever cheered by new life, and the idea of starting anew. The Prime Minister said last year, a child born this year may well live to see the year 2117. It's a huge challenge to imagine how different that world might look. Perhaps, aided by her own example, it will look more friendly to mixing parenthood and career. Our daughter, to whom I am again speaking, says she loves that Clark will be the stay-at-home dad. She also says she's glad for him because, I think it'll be a lot more interesting than fishing. Perhaps if we'd kept Sky, should see things differently. Sunday Star Times.